Okay, this is lesson 7. This is workbook page 113, and now we are solving multi-step equations. So this is an 8th grade standard. So far we have practiced 6th and 7th grade solving equations leading up to this point. So in Google Classroom, I did assign the steps that we used today to work through solving these multi-step equations. So definitely look at this that I assigned in Google Classroom as a resource to really help you. So we're going to go through solving problem number 3 on workbook page 113 using these steps. So the first step is something new. It's not math, it's not a math rule, it's not math specific. It's just whoever wrote this image that I found uses, and I did actually really like it. And step 1 is just telling us to draw a line down the equals. So basically, it's really just this, right? It's just a visual way to keep the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation very, very separate. So I like that visual. Step 2 says if there are parentheses, we need to clear them using the distributive property. So looking back at problem number 3, do we have any parentheses? No, so we don't have to do anything for step 2. Step 3 says to simplify each side of the equation if possible. On the left side of the equals, add the like terms, and then do the same thing to the right side. So we're looking at both of these sides separately. So here on the left, we don't have any like terms that we can combine. And also here on the right, we do not have any like terms that we can combine. So we are on to the next step. Step 4, this is the new step, right? This is the 8th grade stuff. If variables on both sides of the equals, bring the smaller variable over by zeroing it out using addition or subtraction. So this is the new stuff, right? We have not had step 4 before. We have not had variables on both sides of the equal sign before. So what we're going to do is we're going to move all of their variables so that they're on one side of the equal sign. This step says to use the smaller, but it doesn't matter if you use the smaller or the larger. Generally, if you use the smaller of the two variables, you may avoid some extra negative numbers, but otherwise you'll come up with the same answer no matter what. But for today, we are going to practice their steps. So which is the smaller variable? Or I should say, which is the smaller number coefficient with variable? Is it negative 3a or 8a? It's negative 3a. So we're going to move this negative 3a over to the right, and we're going to use the same procedure that we know what to do. We're always using the inverse operation. So since this is a negative 3a or minus 3a, the opposite would be to add 3a. Whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we also have to do to the other side of the equal sign. Now, we are practicing also making sure that you rewrite the equation every single time. Many students are skipping this step, but it is very important. It's easier to see errors and it makes everything neat, lined up, easy for you to check. So on the left, negative 3a plus 3a is 0. So that's what we wanted. We wanted to zero that out, but we are still left with 27. On the right, 11a, excuse me, 8a plus 3a is 11a. And then we still have that plus 5. Now we have exactly what you guys are used to solving. Now we have a two-step equation. These steps do walk you through the rest of those steps. So step 5, on the side with the variable, find something you can zero out by adding or subtracting. So you guys already know how to do that, right? We're moving everything over. We're attempting to isolate the variable. So on the side with the variable, something that we can remove by adding or subtracting, that would be the plus 5. We're doing the opposite. And again, After every single step, we are practicing rewriting that equation. 27 minus 5 is 22. And over here, 5 minus 5 is 0. So we're left with just 11a. The last step, isolate the variable by multiplying or dividing. Again, we're always using inverse operations. This is not anything new. So in order to get our a alone, we need to divide by 11, since 11a means 11 times a, and we are always doing the opposite operation. And what we are left with is 11a divided by 11 is 1a, and 22 divided by 11 is 2. So we are left with a equals 2. Lastly, on here, it does suggest or is recommended to check your answer by plugging your answer in for the variables and seeing if both sides are equal. So into the original equation, instead of writing a, I'm going to write 2. So 27 minus 3 times 2, does that equal 8 times 2 plus 5? Well, over here, 27 minus 6. 27 minus 6 is 21. 16 plus 5 is also 21. So yes, we've checked our work and the solution is a equals 2. Students in class today, we went through problem 4 and then problem 5. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions.